Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Friday, November 26th, Pub Sports Radio. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, Skee Profit as well in a few moments, ready to break down the Friday NBA card. Obviously, you survived Thanksgiving if you're watching right now, which is good. I hope everyone had a great holiday. Didn't get turkey overdose or anything like that. No OD from turkey or anything like that after Thanksgiving. But we're here. We're ready for this Friday NBA card. Let's get right to it because it is a massive slate. We'll start with, there's actually a game that's already started, a rare Black Friday matinee game with the Pistons and the Clippers. The rest of the cards starting with Minnesota and Charlotte. We got the Hornets, 2.5-point home favorites, 225.5 the total. This should be a good one because both of these teams are really playing good at the moment. The Charlotte Hornets just keep on winning games, 7-1 in their last 8. They've covered 6 of those 8 games. And here's the Minnesota Timberwolves on a 5-game win streak, including a very impressive win on Wednesday night over the Miami Heat, 113-101. So it's been the longest winning streak in 4 years for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Winning streaks in the Minnesota Timberwolves that don't normally go together. But right now they do because the Wolves are playing certainly some good basketball, really at both ends of the floor. Finch is talking about how they've played better defense. Anthony Edwards has been magnificent as of late. D'Angelo Russell, of course, has been back and done well. And you know what you normally get from Karl Anthony Towns. So it's really been a good effort, good performance in these 5 wins, both ends of the floor for Minnesota. Really tough to go against these teams right now, but I lean Minnesota. They're the streaking team. Unlike Charlotte, I think they've got some wins against some good competition lately. Not so much Charlotte. A lot of their wins came against struggling teams, especially of late. Although they did beat Washington, so we'll give them credit. But the Orlando win, not really saying a whole lot. I'm going to be on Minnesota here. I like the way it's going. I like them in the road dog role. They're getting 2.5, 3 here in this game. I like Minnesota. Total's gone up, and both meetings went over the total when they met last season. So I can see why, based on series history, they've played higher scoring affairs. I would lean over. The one caution is both of these teams are getting it done at the defensive end lately. They've played better defensively, both teams. That would be the one caution with maybe looking toward the over in this game. Skee, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We'll start with you here. What do you like, Minnesota, Charlotte?
I was trying to find just the total on this game.
225.5 right now.
Okay. It's interesting because Charlotte still plays at a fast pace, but their games are going under. It's just that, like you said, they've stepped up defensively. Both teams really top 10. They do a good job defending the perimeter, defending the 3. And I think Charlotte's went under 6 of their last 7. Minnesota's went under 5 of their last 8. I probably just lean towards that way just because of the defense that they've been playing. It always makes me nervous when I think about Charlotte's pace, but I think this total could just be a little bit too high. I'm looking at the last 2 weeks, what both teams have been allowing. Minnesota, 98.8 points. Charlotte, 102.9. I think it gets under this 225.5 number.
Yeah, it is a big number for 2 teams that have picked it up defensively. There is no denying that at all, for sure. Dutch, what do you think here?
Yeah, real quick. Salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents out there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit that motherfucking like button like we hit all that shit yesterday. The turkey, the mac and cheese, the ham, you know what I'm saying? Hit it. Kill that motherfucker. Much appreciated. Share the video if you can. I see you, Moses. Salute, my guy. Yeah, man. This game's, it's tough. It's real tough, to be honest with you. I'm pretty happy with the Wolves, lately, especially when they did show up against Miami most recently. Ski. Yeah, man. But I kind of like the Hornets here, though, to be honest with you. Nothing official right at this time, but if I had to pull the trigger, it would be Charlotte. They're 4-0 ATS, last 4 at home. 6-2 to the number of the last 8, and they're 3-0 ATS last 3 meetings versus this team with an average margin of 15 points per game, and they're shooting right under 50% from the floor against these teams the last 3 meetings at 49%. Charlotte's had their way with them. I look for that to kind of continue at home. I know Minnesota's been hot. Edwards coming off a big game. They're getting, D'Angelo Russell doing his thing. Beasley's coming off the bench, giving him a little bit. And then, of course, Towns actually, didn't even play the whole fucking first half last game, and they still found a way. I believe he only had 11 points and still found a way to beat Miami pretty handily there in that second half. But and also this meeting is 11-3 the last 14 straight up at home versus the Wolves. So I gotta look the Hornets here. I like Terry Rozier as well, over 18.5 points. He's averaged 33 points per game the last two meetings versus the Wolves, and the last two games he's averaging 29.5. So he's finding his rhythm. Look for him to stay. I don't know if we're gonna see scary Terry, but give me 20 Terry, and that'll be easy.
All right, Lean and Charlotte. Wham, what do you like here?
Yeah, so I do agree with Skee here. I think this is an under spot. I really lean under. That probably would be my strongest lean. But I did make an official play here on this game, and it is a prop. It's LaMelo Ball over 7.5 rebounds. Obviously, he didn't get to the number at last game at 4 against the Hornets. But we all know it's just a little bit tricky, weird when you play the Hornets. The Hornets actually go with a lot of attempts, so it's kind of weird that he didn't get that. But I think that gets back into form on the rebounding touch in this game. Another reason why I like the under here is just like you guys mentioned, though. These guys have been playing really good defense as of late. Charlotte, number 4 in opposing three-point percentage, 21st in defensive rating, though. That's the only thing that kind of scares me there. But the thing is that they holding guys from shooting threes. They can stop this team from shooting threes. That's going to be a lot of the offense here for the Minnesota, in my opinion. The Minnesota on the other side, we've been seeing them play really good guarding the three. They're number 1 in the last 5 games and holding opponents in three-point percentage. So I think that we see some defense here in this game. It may be a high pace still because of the Charlotte tempo, but I still think you see enough defense to get under this total. I did take the official play with the rebound prop for LaMelo over 7.5 points, minus 110, I believe.
All right, we got the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks. Phoenix 3.5-point road favorites, 216 the total. The win streak just rolls along for the Suns, although they failed to cover for their backers in 2 straight games coming into this one with the San Antonio and the Cleveland games. They won both of those by 5 points and 4 points respectively. But they did not cover. They were laying a bigger number than this, though. At this number, I can't go against Phoenix. I understand they've played a grueling schedule. I understand maybe it's catching up to them a little bit. We've talked about that the last few Suns games, but they are just magnificent offensively right now. 4 straight overs as well. I don't know if I trust the Knicks to slow them down. Just keep in mind, the Knicks' losses, they've come against some pretty good competition. Most of their wins lately have been, banged up Lakers team, Rockets, up and down Pacers team, a B squad of the Sixers. I mean, those have been the victories lately for the New York Knicks. So I think this is going to be a challenge for them here. I like Phoenix minus 3.5. I'd go over the total as well. Ride it with the Suns. They've gone over. I know the Knicks have been trending the other way with the under, but to me, the Knicks have struggled defensively against these balanced teams that can score outside with the outside shooting, perimeter firepower, which the Suns have right now, with the inside production that obviously the Suns are getting right now as well. So I'd go with the road favorite. I'd go over the total here with this matchup. What do you like, Skee, here, Suns and Knicks?
Yeah, it might have been the last game they played or maybe one of their past games, but, I tried to catch that falling knife and I survived. I covered. I think it might have been Spurs versus Suns, something like that. But I think this is not a good spot for the Suns. They've been playing too many games. It's their 4th game in 6 nights. They play tomorrow versus the Nets, which is a game I think they want to get up for a little bit more than the game tonight. Although it's at the Garden, and they just had Thanksgiving yesterday too. So I just think it's a lot piled up for Phoenix. Not that New York didn't have Thanksgiving, but New York, 2 days rest. They've been playing really solid defense, the better defensive team over the last 5 games. And I think that they'll be in this game. I think that they have a chance to win it at the house. So I'll take the more rested team in this spot. Give me the Knicks plus.
All right, like in the Knicks plus, they're going to have to overcome some damning series history head-to-head with Phoenix because Phoenix is 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread against the Knicks, and all of those Suns victories came by at least 8 points or more. So, the Suns have not only beaten them, but beaten them down 6 straight times. We'll see if the Knicks can change that here tonight. Dutch, what do you think, Suns-Knicks?
Yeah, all that, and they're 9-2 ATS in their last 11 meetings in New York. So, it's hard to go against that. Shout out to my guy Nathan. I see you say on that purple. I see you, man. Had that garlic cookies in the air. Yeah, man. Alfonso, like in saying the Knicks can't show up in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, they seem to have their issues. That's for sure. No lead is safe when they can't get comfortable if the Knicks get up by double digits. I'll just say that. And this number is a little weird to me. I don't understand how the Suns are only -3. It is 3.5 now. It definitely, smells, a little trappy, little fuckery in the making, to be quite honest with you. But I could also see us back taking the Knicks and being very upset in the fourth quarter, wondering why the fuck did we back this team against the Phoenix Suns, who's clearly a better team. But the spot does scream New York here. I'm gonna stay off. I like DeAndre Ayton over points and rebounds -115. Last meeting he dropped 26 and 15. He's also had a 20 and 20 against them prior game to that. He's killing them, man. As long as he gets the minutes, he'll get his. Averaging right under this number. So I look for him to get 30 plus points and rebounds tonight.
All right, Wham.
Yeah, man, I agree with you guys as well. I think this is a trappy ass fucking line. I mean, the guys haven't been covering, like we said, like Ian said, they haven't been covering recently. 7 out of the last 7 games, they only covered once. And in this game, they do have the advantage. I mean, as far as the statistics here, but the spot is definitely off. 4th game in 7 nights, off 2 days rest is the New York Knicks. And then you're going in here, this team is already have on a road trip. Like bro said, they got Thanksgiving just as much as we all are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking this is a good spot for the Knicks here. I would only go with the Knicks in this spot, but I haven't bet it yet. But that's probably the only way I would go.
All right,
and
Chicago, Orlando
tomorrow too. My bad, Ian. I don't know if anybody mentioned that, but the Suns got Brooklyn tomorrow.
Yep, Skee mentioned it. Yeah, the Brooklyn game tomorrow. Yeah, definitely.
And just to be fair, sorry, Ian, but just to be fair, the Knicks also play Atlanta tomorrow.
Yeah. A lot
playoff
of
revenge. There you go. Playoff revenge for the Knicks tomorrow night. So,
a lot of back-to-back games tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a wash then. They could cancel each other out. Phoenix with Brooklyn tomorrow night. New York with Atlanta tomorrow night. You just bet who you think's going to match up better and get the job done. Don't worry about both teams playing.
They are the more rested team still. I'm gonna say that.
That's what I'm saying.
No doubt.
2 days rest off of back-to-back is different.
Yeah, no doubt. There's definitely been a lot of games lately in this condensed schedule for the Suns. The Bulls and the Magic, they played a lot of games yet Chicago lately as well. They're 9.5-point road favorites, 212 the total. Still, I know they ran out of gas. We talked about their schedule have been pretty rough lately, Chicago, but there's no excuse to lose to Houston. I'm sorry. 118 to 113 last night. It's a terrible loss for the Bulls. You got to think this is a game that early they show up. This could be one of those spots, and this is why tonight in this game, I really only like the Bulls in the first half, -5. I think this is early you show up. You put the boots to this Magic team. Anybody that's angry and is better than the Magic and shows up against them can take care of business against the Magic. I think you're going to see that tonight from Chicago. But Chicago's got the Miami Heat at home tomorrow night. So this could be one of those situations where Chicago gets the big lead early. Don't want to screw around and mess around and worry and fret about the -9.5 full game if Billy Donovan's going to end up taking out, DeRozan and whoever else, with a big lead. Because we have seen teams really have big leads, like I'm talking 20-point leads, and cough it up and fail to cover and win by single digits. Milwaukee did it against Orlando. Boston did it recently against, I think it was Houston recently as well. We've seen a lot of teams do this with a big lead at halftime. They've just completely mailed it in. And if you've got the full game spread, you're in some trouble sometimes. So I'd just rather focus on the first half, the Bulls showing up. And I split it between the first half with Houston the other night. I should have put it all on the first half because it was after halftime when that game completely got away from Chicago. So for me, it's Chicago -5 first half. It's the old classic Skee Profit saying, get in and get out here with the Bulls tonight. And then don't worry about if they have the big lead, if they pull the starters, because they do have a big one with Miami tomorrow night. Why put yourself in a position to worry about that with the full game? So that's why I'm going to focus on first half here, Chicago -5. What do you think here, Skee? Bulls Magic?
I think I'll let you have it. I'm backwood, pass it to Dutch.
There we go. Backwood time. Dutch, how about you? Are you getting involved here?
I don't want that motherfucker. That's a backwood all day. If you really want to bet this game, big Vooch, maybe you could look at points and rebounds, but I would look for the Bulls to handle it. Yeah, it's a backwood, man.
Yeah, exactly. I like those bets for props. The guy facing his old team usually plays good against them across the board. Every sport, that usually happens quite a bit. Wham, anything here?
Yeah, I go the other way with that scenario there. I would say Wendell Carter gets the double-double tonight going against his team. He's already said he's going to be up for this game, so that's the way I would be looking. But other than that, this is a backwood.
All right, we've got the Atlanta Hawks and the Memphis Grizzlies now. Memphis 1-point home favorites, 227 the total in this one. And how about what we saw from the Atlanta Hawks? Wouldn't you know it? A road victory and a road cover. It finally happened for the Atlanta Hawks the other night. And not just that it happened in impressive blowout fashion, 124-106 over the San Antonio Spurs. See if they can keep all of a sudden this little confidence that they found on the road going here. They're still 0-8, though. ATS, their last 8 is road underdogs, and that's the role they're in here against Memphis, who they did what Memphis, they did exactly what I thought they would do, because I took the points with the Raptors the other night against Memphis. I didn't expect Memphis to carry over the huge, thrilling comeback win against Utah. It's Memphis. This is what they do. They have a big win, and they lay an egg the next time out. That's exactly what they did. They had a terrible second half and just fell apart. They lost by double digits to the Raptors. They'll obviously be looking to bounce back. And, the one thing that they've been good at lately is usually bouncing back after a subpar performance. We'll see if they can do that here. It's not a game I have a strong feel on, although I might just keep riding here with the overs with Memphis. It's 5 straight. I was on the over in the Utah game as a best bet, the over as well in the Toronto game the other night. They're just not defending very well, especially the three-point line. And that continues to be a problem for this Memphis Grizzlies team. But you would think offensively tonight after the defeat to Toronto, they do perform better at that end of the floor as well. So I guess if I was to bet this game, I'd look at the over, and the betting markets agree with me here, because this total opened 224.5. It's now up to 227. So a lot of people seeing points here in this game as well. What do you think here, Skee, with Atlanta and Memphis?
For me, Atlanta still got to prove it on the road. On the season, they won 2 games. They've covered 1. And they actually took my money on that one. So I don't really want to bet against them here today. Although I think Grizzlies could hang in there on the rebounds. They've been terrible defensively. So that's why I really don't want the Grizzlies. So I'm just going to stay away from this game. But I'll just say Atlanta has to prove it on the road to me.
All right, prove it a second time here, Atlanta, against a better team. Memphis has got issues, they're flaws, but still a little bit of a tougher challenge for Atlanta than San Antonio was the other night. Dutch, anything here with Hawks Grizzlies?
Yeah, shout out to my guy THC Rizza talking. I believe he said Atlanta might have found their stride, and we touched on it last. The other day, I felt like they had. Gallo starting to do his thing. Herter's playing good minutes, getting Cam Reddish. I mean, they have 40 points off the bench at San Antonio. And it wasn't just a nail biter, like you said. They did it in good fashion. It was a nice effort all around. I kind of look for it to continue. I touched on Atlanta. Their road struggles, but the teams that they played against, it's top tier. And now you're getting Memphis. I think they're right around San Antonio, to be quite honest with you. If Atlanta shows up here and plays solid basketball, I think they cover this number here. They did have 8 players in double digits last game. It's not just Trey. It's not John Collins. It's, they got Bogdanovich. They're loaded, man. They're like 9-10 deep really when they want to be. So I think if they show up and can obviously knock down that perimeter shot, because we know Memphis will not do much to stop it as long as they knock down those open J's, I think that this will be a pretty easy win for Atlanta.
All right, Dutch, like in Atlanta, wham.
Yeah, man. So I could see a case for both of these teams, honestly. One is number 1 in 3-point percentage for the Hawks. Obviously, they could be still rolled, scripted, to be terrible on the road. But here, I believe the Grizzlies, they kind of have bad for the defensive side. I mean, for the Grizzlies, they great at scoring in the paint. They're not leading the league in number 1 points in the paint at 57.6 points. So you're thinking that they're going to take advantage of that, because the other team on the Hawks side, they're holding opponents to the 28th best. Basically, pretty much trash at holding opponents in the paint. They can definitely exploit that. I think the Hawks are going to put up a little bit higher tempo than what you're seeing. You're seeing them at 18th in pace. You're seeing this other team at 12th in pace. I think they pick up the pace here early on. I like the first half over 116, 115.5. The Memphis Grizzlies are the number 1 team in going over the total in the first half. I think the Hawks have to continue to shoot well, which they are number 1 in 3-point percentage in the last 5 games. So I just think it's kind of goes straight towards the over here. I think it's going to give you points early. I do like the props here as well, but I think it's easier just to take the first half over. Like my guy Skee said, doesn't look right to take the full game. Maybe it's a little defense there in the second half. Take the first half over here. I like that look here in this spot.
All right, we got Toronto, Indiana. Pacers 4-point home favorites, 210 the total. If it means anything, I don't know if it does, but this is double revenge, if you will, for Indiana. They've lost twice to the Raptors this year, once in Toronto, once here in Indiana at the house. So we'll see if the Pacers can finally beat the Raptors. They have not been able to do that this year, 0-2 straight up in ATS. The Raptors, pretty tough road trip this has been. Think about the teams they played: Portland, Utah, Golden State. They lost all three of those. They beat the teams they kind of expected they had a chance to beat, and that was Sacramento and Memphis. They won both of those games. We'll see how they fare here in this one. OG Anunoby, there was some thought he could return against Memphis. He didn't. He sat out one more game, and there's a chance he could play tonight, but again, not confirmed yet, and obviously great at both ends of the floor, so we'll see if OG returns tonight from his hip injury for the Raptors in this game. Keep in mind this spot for the Raptors. It's been a long road trip. This will be the sixth game of the trip. They do go home to play Boston on Sunday, so it's the end of the road trip. Are you looking ahead maybe to getting home? That would be the one concern I'd have with Toronto, but they have matched up well and done good head-to-head against the Pacers. So lean Raptors, but I got to be honest, I like Toronto more the other night than I do here in this spot. What do you think, Skee? Raptors, Pacers?
I think it's interesting that the total is going down. I know Toronto's gone over 5 of their last 6. And, they're just not real good defensively right now. And the Pacers, I'm not really sold on their last 5 games defensive stats either because, they played that one game versus the Bulls, and it was just a terrible spot for the Bulls. So I think it's inflating their defensive numbers over that span. So if I have to play it, I would think you can get over the 209.5, 210 number. But I don't think it's a game I'll be playing.
All right, it's a pass for Skee in this one. Dutch, Raptors, Pacers.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I believe you touched on it, Ian, also Alfonso. The Raptors have just had their way with the Pacers. This is, what we call, I guess, my fucking revenge spot. I don't really like that word, but I guess, after losing the 2 at the beginning of the season. But I don't know, man. It's 8-1, I believe, the last 9 meetings against the Pacers. The Raptors are. It's. I don't know if I want to lay 4. This game is real tempting though. It's like automatically I want to bet the Pacers, and then you start looking at it a little more. I'm like, man, this is a real exotic backwood, a real exotic one. Almost hit that motherfucker type exotic. But yeah, I'm gonna have to backwood this bitch. Shout out to my
All right,
guy.
Wham.
Yeah, this is the last game of a 6-game road trip for the Raptors. They could possibly, get right before they have to cross over the border here in this spot. Man, I really don't want to bet against the Pacers though right now, just because they can show us better here. But I do like the Raptors in this spot. I'm not gonna lie, especially if OG is back in the lineup. I do like Scotty Barnes in this game. If OG's there, he doesn't have to do as much. Maybe I'll lean toward his rebound prop. He's averaging about 7.5 rebounds, and that's where it's at right now. I believe his rebound prop is set at 7.5. So I think I do like that a lot there. But that's the only way I would be betting here. Other than that, it's a backwood.
All right, we go on to Washington, Oklahoma City. Washington 7.5-point road favorites, 206 the total in this game. Is it time to start getting a little bit worried about Washington, because this is their first full-on funk slide, skid, whatever word you want to use, of the year for them. They've lost 4 of their last 5, and 2 of those losses to Charlotte, 1 of those losses to Miami. Really, you can't say those are bad losses. The last one is. You lose 25 at New Orleans, that's bad. You've got something wrong with you when you're doing that. So this is definitely a concern right now for Washington, not playing their best ball. And all this Oklahoma City team does, even the other night against Utah, they didn't have SGA against Utah the other night. They lose by 6, wire-to-wire point spread cover. They're playing hard for Mark Daigneault, the head coach. This team just battles. They compete. They found other guys to step up offensively. No SGA, no problem the other night offensively. You got 27 from Lou Dort. You just got to keep betting that prop. I've talked about it multiple times. He gets 27 against Utah. Josh Giddey has stepped up, 19 points, giddy up with him on the floor for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He stepped up for them. I mean, just the effort and compete level from this team on a nightly basis is terrific. They're undermanned. They're not close to as good as many of these teams they play. And yet here they are 8-2 against the spread, their last 10 games. And the last 4 losses, all the pretty good teams, Milwaukee, Boston, Atlanta, Utah. And all of those losses by 12 points or less, they were. 3 of them by single digits. So you're kidding yourself if you think I'm laying 7.5 with a struggling Washington team here. Now, I know SGA is going to be out again right now for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. He's going to miss the game again tonight. It'll be, I think, his 3rd straight game that he'll be out of the lineup. But, this hard-trying Thunder team, don't put it past them to be right in this game once again like they've been with most of their recent games against this Washington team that's hit their first rough patch of the year. So if I'm playing, I'm on the home dog, OKC. Skee, what do you think? Washington, OKC.
I'm going to the total in this game. Neither team playing really fast, and both bottom 10 offensive rated teams over the last 5 games. And over the last 10 games, both combined to average about 101 points per game in the first half. And you have the Wizards. They've gone under 10 of their last 11 first halves. OKC's gone under 12 of their last 13 first halves. And I know the last one went over, but they're going to have to do it twice because, hey, it's been cash, and I like first half under 105.
All right, that's a first half under 105 here with the Wizards and the Thunder for Skee. Dutch, what do you like here?
Yeah, the real DJ said, talking about Kyle Kuzma's outfit. Yeah, that was a wow. That was a wowzer, bro. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but yeah, Joe Chris
like,
said
for those of you that watch Fresh Prince, you know how Carlton Banks wore that ULA mascot thing? Like the big peacock or whatever that was. That's what it looked like with Kyle Kuzma the other night with that big sweater on. It looked like he was in some big animal mascot thing with how big that thing was.
Yeah, you being kind of. He looked like a little bitch to me, bro. I don't know. That shit was weird, bro.
You look like you have some Narnia cat.
Or you can just cut him up even harder. Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker look like a straight female. Oh no. Like, I don't know what's happening nowadays. This shit is just, it ain't right, man. I don't support that shit. I'll say that. But yeah, this a clear backwood. Joe Chris said it, man. Backwood, this motherfucker.
All right, Wham, Washington, OKC. Anything here?
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm believing in this Lou Dort. Lou Dort seems like it's the right way to go. Just like you said, man, he's got 4 attempts, 4 threes, makes last game. I just think that this is a good spot here for the OKC, who's covered 8 of the last 10. You know what I mean? They've been playing really good. So that's the only way I would go. As far as the defense for the Wizards, the defense been slipping, man. So, you know what I mean? Going back to their old ways as far as the franchise.
They are a little bit, but more than anything, they've had some offensive concerns as well these last few games. Washington, but definitely going through a little slide. We'll see if this is the night they bounce out of it. Speaking of trying to bounce back from a bad game, how about Boston taking on San Antonio here? Boston 4.5-point road favorites, 214 the total. Obviously, it was a big marquee matchup the other night against Brooklyn, and it did not go Boston's way. They get blown out, lose 123 to 104, and now they'll be looking to bounce back following that game. And bouncing back after a loss has been good lately for the Celtics. They lost to Dallas, won and covered against the Raptors in the next game, lost to Cleveland, won and covered against Cleveland in the rematch in the next game, lost to Atlanta, won and covered against the Lakers in the next game. So they've been pretty good off a loss in recent games. And San Antonio gets wiped out by Atlanta in their last game before Thanksgiving, 124-106. Pop likes the effort from his team going into that Atlanta game. He didn't like it as much that night. Now 6 straight losses for the Spurs. Seems like a pretty clear bounce back type of spot for the Celtics. The money's come in on them. It's hard to disagree with it. I would certainly look Celtics, maybe a first half full game split in this matchup. What do you think, Skee? Celtics, Spurs?
Don't have a lot. Celtics, I know they've been going under on the road, and Spurs continue to go over at home. So kind of clash there, but ultimately, I'm going to pass.
All right, Dutch, what do you like here? Boston, San Antonio.
Yeah, the chat helping Taylor out. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, this game, shit, I hate to do it to y'all again, but it's a motherfucking exotic backwood. Until Boston gets healthy, Robert Williams get healthy, I see Jaylen Brown playing good basketball. I can't fuck with him. Backwood this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, they need Robert Williams back. Actually, believe it or not, he's become a big piece to that front court, especially when Al Horford's a mystery one night to the next. You don't know what you're going to get on the basketball court from him every single game right now for Boston. What do you think here, Wham? Boston, San Antonio?
Yeah, man. San Antonio without a few of their pieces as well. I think Devin Vassell, my guy, he's out there as well. So I agree with you guys as far as the perimeter defense. The perimeter defense has been bad as well for Boston over the last 5 games. They ranked 18th in holding opponents to 38%, 36% from 3 at the perimeter there. So I think they may let this team shoot. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to think of it this way as well. Like this team being able to outshoot the Celtics. But I honestly lean Celtics here, though, still. It's just one of those things that after hearing you guys break it down, I didn't bet this yet. I don't think I want to hop on this play here. But I do like the Celtics to beat this team because it just seemed like the Spurs may be a little bit bad. Worse than what we thought. My guy Jimmy did say maybe players only means don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was the case in this case,
Yeah, sometimes you're right. They just they don't show up usually the way you expect when the players have the old powwow and you think that they're going to bring it big in that next game. That doesn't always happen. We'll see if the Celtics respond tonight because that was a drubbing they took the hands of Brooklyn the other night. All right. New Orleans and Utah. We've got Utah 13.5-point home favorites, 217.5 the total. This total has gone up big time, 213 to 217.5. And I believe the over's crazy in the series history, like very, very strong over series history with these two teams. 6-1 the last 7 to the over. Look at the scores in the 3 meetings last year: 118, 102, 129, 118, 129, 124. So kind of hard to argue with that, but it's a different Pelicans team. It's a team that is playing at least a little bit slower. It's a Pelicans team that, offensively isn't really all that great. I don't know how they got 127 against Washington, but before that, they were kind of struggling offensively. Really, Ingram and Big Val have been carrying them at that end of the floor. Utah returning home after a narrow and tougher than expected victory against Oklahoma City the other night. They've now gone over the total in 4 straight. So you combine that with the series history, you can definitely make a case for the over here in this game. As far as the side goes, the Pelicans off a win. I know off the top of my head, it's not good this year. The rare wins that they've had. Let's go back and look, shall we? They beat Minnesota. They lost the next game to Atlanta, although they did cover. They beat Memphis, and then they lost the next game against Washington. They beat the Clippers, and then they got blown out the next game against Indiana. So it's been one and done for the Pelicans. They win a game. They usually don't win another immediately after that. So it is a lot of points to lay, but I can't say I'm looking to back New Orleans here. It would be Utah or nothing. It would be over or nothing in this game. What do you think, Skee? Pelicans, Jazz?
Yeah, I don't have a lot, so I agree with what you said, and I'll pass it on to Dutch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's tough with this because the over makes sense, but it's not that same Pelicans team offensively. And the one thing about Utah is Snyder didn't love their effort defensively against OKC, so he was talking about how he want to be a little bit better there next time out. So that could be trouble for the Pelicans here. What do you think, Dutch, here, New Orleans, Utah?
Ski keep trying to pass me that bullshit, man. Hey, shout out to our guy I Heavy though, listening to us from Disney World or Disneyland, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Much love. Have fun. Enjoy yourself with the kids, my guy. Yeah, this is a backwood like a motherfucker. I'm sorry, guys. It's a backwood, though. You can't force me to do shit. And if y'all in your feelings about me backwooding this shit, I really don't give a fuck. So,
These are some ugly games. And let's keep in mind, this is the day after Thanksgiving. Some of these teams are out on the road trip. You don't know how locked in they're going to be coming off the holiday. They're spending it with family, friends, their teammates, whoever. It's not the worst day in the world to say, you know what, I've got nothing on this game. On to the next one. There's nothing wrong with that. It's better to save yourself a losing bet than throw out a bet you think you like and it ends up losing and you lose money. That's not what you want to do long term. All right, Wham, anything here?
Yeah, man, I would disagree with the line movement here. I think it is an under spot, honestly. Nola, for example, they haven't been playing very good offensively. Now they did get a good spark from Brandon Ingram, who's probably their best player offensively on the team, of course. I think he got a spark because Devontae Graham got back in the lineup with him in the lineup at the first time. So gave him a little bit ease up there, maybe a defensive focus there. So maybe he's going to replicate this performance. But I think that these two teams just trend towards the under as of late, especially the New Orleans Pelicans, 2-8 towards the under on the road, hitting at 80%, 70%. They're the best number towards the under, this team, as far as Pelicans. A lot of that has to do, they don't really have that many good role players to get that production in here. This could be a blowout here as well. Let's not talk about how great the Utah Jazz have as far as like getting guys involved. I think they're getting a lot of guys involved, trying to get guys involved all at around the same time. You're not going to get Royce O'Neal, I believe, tonight. So that's a guy out of the production. So you may see some of these guys be able to erupt without, one of the main pieces out there, especially on defense. Royce O'Neal, we all know he plays a lot on the defensive end for this team. I think this could possibly be an under, though, honestly. Even though with a defensive player out, I think this is an under spot. That's the only way I would look here. My apologies here. Since we don't have too much on this game, I just thought I'd just talk y'all off this, the over here. Don't do the over. I wouldn't touch the over. Even though it's 9 of the last 12 meetings, like my guy said, I wouldn't touch that.
All right, we got Milwaukee and Denver. Milwaukee 3.5, 4-point road favorites, 214 the total. No Jokic, no good for the Denver Nuggets. The last 3 games without Jokic, man, 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread, losing to Chicago, Phoenix by a blowout fashion. Portland, they lose by 19. And like I said the other day, we talked about Denver without Jokic. People just get so focused on what they miss at the offensive end of the basketball court without him. Look at the defense without him. It's been brutal these last 3 games. That's why the overs have cashed, and that's why I was on it the other night, because I think people underestimate, at times what the defense looks like without the big guy on the floor for the Denver Nuggets. But look what they've given up, 46 of 87 against Phoenix, 45 of 88 shooting to the Portland Trailblazers the other night. Jokic is going to be a game-time decision, still battling that wrist injury going into tonight. So, it's tough to back Denver if he's not going to play tonight in this game. And Milwaukee, after a season marred by bad play and injuries and absences and COVID and all kinds of stuff, they're starting to put it together better. 5 straight wins for the Milwaukee Bucks. You could quibble about the competition, though. I will say that. OKC, Lakers, 2 games against Orlando, Detroit. That's the sisters of the poor right there. That they've been beating up the last 5 games. However, the Nuggets just don't look good right now without Jokic. I'd still lean Bucks, especially if he's not going to play here, laying 3.5 on the road. I'll probably be on the over regardless. If Jokic comes back, it's good for them offensively. If Jokic doesn't play, look at what's happened for Denver defensively without him. They've still struggled at that end, and the games have still gone over without Jokic. So I'll probably bet over the total regardless, but I will certainly probably look Milwaukee as well if we don't see Jokic back tonight for the Nuggets. What do you think here, Skee? Bucks and Nuggets?
Yeah, I kind of still want to play against I still want to play against some of these teams that like change scenery. Like all these games Milwaukee's been having at home, and like you said, they haven't really been playing anybody. And now they got to switch up and go on the road. Teams like that haven't been doing well. And then also, I just kind of look like at the same time, I do think Jokic is going to play. I mean, the last time when I played against the Nuggets, I think it was with the Blazers. I figured he wasn't going to play because he was not 100%. Maybe he was kind of close, but you get a few days off after that. And now here's where he's had a few days off, and he should be good to go. Like, I think I saw him in the pregame even like trying to go, and he looked pretty decent. So I think he's going to play tonight. And I think the line is really low. Like if Milwaukee's won 5 in a row, Denver's lost 5 in a row. Why is the line like only 3.5? So I think Denver's going to be in this game. I think they can win this game. I think Jokic plays, and that's the way I like it.
All right, like in Denver here, plus the points, and like it more, especially if Jokic plays and Skee thinking he might. Again, he was definitely trending upward with that injury, so maybe the extra time during the little break here for Thanksgiving gives him the ample opportunity to finally get back on the floor tonight for the Nuggets. What do you like here, Dutch?
Yeah, man, you touched on a lot, Ian, and I pretty much agree with a lot with what you said about Milwaukee. I think they're finding their stride too. You could talk about who they played, but I mean that was who was on their schedule. We know they're one of the better teams in the NBA. They're getting their guys back. They're starting to look, like the team that we've seen before. Bobby Portis has been playing pretty solid minutes for him too. I just look at it as I think Joker's going to play, and that's why this line is where it is. This line and the Suns line are, a little bit to me, but I do like Milwaukee here. I just think these two teams did play twice last year. The road team won each meeting. I just look at the locker room for Denver right now. I don't think there's too much morale in there, to be honest with you. They just lost Dozier now. For the season, I believe. Just another guy just off, I know he's coming off the bench, but now you're relying on, with everything going on in the locker room, I know Joker's a stud, but you're relying on Jeff Green, Monte Morris, Aaron Gordon. I mean, these are guys that I do not want to have my money on. And against a team that I know Milwaukee can play, some of the best basketball in the league, I just think Giannis should have his way. I think Middleton will do his thing. Holiday will be able to. I mean, you get these guys like Connaughton, Grayson Allen hitting open jumpers. I just think Milwaukee's going to be too much for him. The line does stink a little bit to me, but I believe if, Joker is announced out, it'll probably go up to about 5.5. And, could go down a little bit once, Joker's obviously going to be in. But I do believe this line says he's going to be in. So I would take Milwaukee now, and I think he'll play, and Milwaukee will win this game.
All right, like a Milwaukee. How about you, Wham?
Yeah, I think I do like Milwaukee here. I think I like them earlier than full game here. Just like you said, though, Dutch, I think they figured out their shot. They're figuring out how to get, certain guys involved while still getting other guys' attempts. For example, Chris Middleton to still be involved in the main scheme of things, but still getting Grayson Allen in his, 6 attempts from 3 because you need that production behind there. So I do like what they've been doing recently. Again, it has been against weaker opponents. The best team they probably faced was the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And that was nothing really to talk too much about there. But I do believe that this Milwaukee team is a little bit better than what we expect. You may be getting a trapped line feel here because I do agree with Skee. I do think Jokic is going to play, having those few games off. I do believe that's going to be the case. I think that Milwaukee could continue it earlier. Can they finish it out? That's what I'm not sure of. That's probably the reason why the line is set how it is. But I think early on they could be able to figure it out and go over first half spread.
All right, next up we got Portland and Golden State. Golden State 6-point home favorites, 225 the total in this game. Just continue to roll on, don't they, this Golden State team? And it's a Golden State team that was down by 11 after the first quarter to Philadelphia in their last game, the B squad, if you will, of the Philadelphia 76ers. But boy, when they got it going, it was a good night to the Sixers. They ended up roaring back, and they ended up winning by 20, 116-96. It's been a terrific run for the Golden State Warriors. Great, obviously, point guard battle. It goes without saying, Lillard and Curry every time these two teams meet up. But boy, Golden State's just the much better overall team right now. Better defensively, better in a lot of categories than Portland. And, I actually thought Portland, you know what? You've been awful on the road. You've absolutely sucked ass on the road all season long. But here's your chance the other night against Sacramento, maybe to finally win a road game. And it didn't happen. They lose to the lowly Kings, 125-121. They get carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Good analogy there. 45 of 86 shooting for the Kings in that game. And that's what you get, unfortunately, way too often. Lacks defense from this Portland team. There's a couple times I've talked myself out of betting this Golden State team because I thought the number was too high and this and that, injuries, whatever, the spot, you name it. And I've passed up some winners. I'm not passing this up tonight. They're better than Portland. Portland's just does not show me anything on the road to give me faith and confidence in them. So I'm going to go ahead with the Warriors here, -6 in this one. Anything, Skee, with this one for you, Portland, Golden State?
Yeah, maybe I should do the same. I feel the same way as you. Like, I know Warriors are that kind of team that can win by margin. They shoot the three well, they defend well, and they rebound. So they continue to do it, and now you get a 6. Like, I just keep thinking, why is this spread going down? It's open 7.5 and went down. It's not like Portland's been good, like you said, at home. I know they've covered games, but they've I mean, Portland's good on the road. I know they've covered games at the house, but back here on the road, and especially you can't beat the Kings, it's got to be Golden State. So I might get there with you. I haven't so far, but only way to play.
I mean, to me, at this number, it seems cheap. It seems cheap to me with Golden State. Cheap, 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 cheap. Dutch, what do you think here? Portland, Golden State.
You mute, bro.
You're muted.
Yeah, man. Don't be scary, ski. You know, don't leave that money on the table, bro. I was hoping you was gonna break out the motherfucking town jersey today. Instead, you had to wear your second fucking favorite team, the Lakers shit. But it's all right. It's all right. I know you had to play fanboy here on Friday. Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm right with y'all. Everything y'all said, except I'm a little more confident than Ski. I ride. I'm not scared to take this shit. I love the -6. I believe you actually get a 5.5 out there. Not too, ecstatic about the number dropping like Skee said, but I just the Warriors sometimes do have trouble, covering the number at the house. They find a way to win, but I feel like they're just gonna put it on the Blazers. I feel like the Blazers, this is just a bad matchup for the Blazers. Now they're 0-6 ATS, the Blazers, last 6 as an underdog, 1-8 ATS on the road this season, and 1-10 ATS in their last 11 on the road. Like auto fade. Really, the Blazers on the road, and we touched on it. They couldn't even beat the fucking lonely-ass Kings. The Warriors 5-0 ATS at home this season, 8-1-1 the last 10 against the spread. To me, this is easy money here. I do like Curry, too, over 29.5, averaging 48.5 points last 2 games. He dropped 62 on them and then dropped 30-something. So, my guy Curry, yeah, that's right, my guy. Yeah, the chef, man. Yeah, Curry, he going to probably bust that ass for 35-plus tonight. You know I love the Blazers, but one thing they don't got is fucking defense, especially in that backcourt with Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. They do a lot, but they don't play no motherfucking D. So look for Curry to attack. Look for them to spread that ball. Do what they do. The Warriors are number 1 in damn near everything. And the Blazers don't really do much right, to be quite honest with you. The Warriors should handle them quite easily. This -6, I believe, is a very good number.
All right, Wham.
Yeah, I kind of would agree. It's kind of like why we're seeing the short number here, and we know Golden State is just a better team. I think the Portland actually did show that even in that Kings game that they're pretty resilient and they can make their shots. I think that's what you did see. They can figure out how to get guys open. Norman Powell made big shots against the Kings last game. And the Kings, let's not talk about them. We were a little bit early here, but they did kind of impress me without Rashawn Holmes. Damian Jones did step up big there. And you did get a great possession from your guy Bagley, hitting threes and shit towards the end of the game. So you were getting some type of production from the Kings. I would hold that there because it does seem like their offense is a little bit better than what it was. I think the Blazers probably are coming in here on right form. We do know Dame. He's always ready to amped up to play when he's back at the house, averaging 28.9 points when he's back at the Bay, 6 assists, 3.8 rebounds. That's his career averages there against Golden State. Last 5 games, he's averaging 28.4. So he's still at the 28 range in the last 5 games. Being able to score at 35, I think, meant a lot in this game against the Kings. Getting ready, knowing that you're not that far away from the house. Sacramento is not that far away, so I know you're probably getting that juices ready. So I think this is going to be a good time to hop on the Dame props. I am going to bet this game over 26.5 points. That's the way I'm going to go in this spot here. I think he's going to do that. He has been averaging more than that over the last 5 games, and he averaged more of that against this team. We all know the motivation is there.
All right. Yeah, good thoughts there in terms of props to look at based on those incentives with the motivational factors. All right, final game on this Friday card, Sacramento Kings, Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers 7.5, 8-point home favorites at Staples, 228.5 the total. I'm going to use a phrase and a catchphrase and a trademark saying for my buddy Connor Mack, who I do so many shows with on this channel. When he likes a game over the total, over, he always says, that's what this one looks to me like. Over. I mean, has Sacramento's defense gotten any better in 2 games since the coaching change? The answer is no, it is not. It's still struggling. They beat Portland in spite of their defense. It's because they just took apart a team that's pretty much at times as bad defensively or close to it as they are. I think they're going to have some tough times tonight at the defensive end. LeBron's a game-time decision. But I think he's going to play. It looks like he's been upgraded to probable with the abdomen situation, so he's going to be in. No Rashawn Holmes, no Harrison Barnes tonight for the Kings, but that's okay. Buddy Hield's going to get in the starting five now, and he's capable of lighting it up. And talk about teams that have struggled defensively, teams that play at a brisk pace. Lakers have been surprisingly a little bit one of the fastest paced teams in the NBA. We know with Gentry there now, and believe it or not, the pace numbers have gone up slightly in the 2 games since Gentry. It's not surprising. Gentry always has his teams playing fast, and you're seeing that with Sacramento since the coaching change with Walton gone. That they're back to even a faster tempo than they were even when Walton was there. So it just screams over to me, and the betting markets clearly agree because this total's been pounded up significantly, and it's hard to argue with it. So give me the over here. What do you think here, Skee? Sacramento, LA?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I took the first half. Just looking at the last few games, and even one of them was without Gentry, but both teams combined to average about 120 points in the first half. Lakers have went over 8 of their last 10 first halves. And like you mentioned with Gentry, he wants them to play fast. Lakers definitely playing up tempo. You have LeBron back in the lineup who definitely will help out offensively, not the most defensively. So I like first half over.
All right, first half over, which you can get right now at 117, 116.5 is what we're looking at with the first half total in this Kings-Lakers game. Dutch, what do you like here?
But he's not liking his Lakers. I see. Hey, someone I believe it was R in the chat said if the Kings were full healthy, they cover. But I think they.
I want to fade the Lakers, Dutch. First game off a long road trip back home, but I'm not doing it with Sacramento. No way.
Yeah, I mean, if they were full strength, I think they would be. To be honest with you, but yeah, and to touch on that, Ian, the Lakers are 5-21 ATS after straight up winning their last 26. So you want to fade the Lakers after they win. I might even wait till this shit goes up, and still jump on to see if I can't get the Kings at like 8 or 10 or something. I believe it's at 8 right now, but they're gonna put Alex Len in the lineup. You touched on Buddy Hield, get some more Mitchell in there off the bench. I don't give a fuck. The Lakers shouldn't be favored against anybody by 10 points. I don't mind the over because the Lakers don't play no fucking defense, and that's why I think you're gonna take the 10 points because they allow any NBA team that has NBA talent to be in the game because of the way they fucking play defense. They don't play defense, so I definitely feel the over. But this right now has got to be a backward to me. But by 7:30 over here on the West Coast, we might have a little Kings action because we love to fade them Lakers. And the only time they really do anything is when them fucking stripes are on them. Hey, shout out to LBJ though against the Pacers. He did his thing. He's acting like a little bitch with the fans. Hey, but he hit them threes though. That was clutch. It was about
got
time.
Him to fuck up out of there, huh? He got him to fuck up out of there.
Pointing at him and shit. Like, hey, but them threes, those are some big shots. It was good to see a player on LeBron's level, do that because that's what superstars are supposed to do. But other than that, I'm gonna have to pass on this game.
All right, Wham.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate. I think I like the over here. I think Skee is onto something with the first half over. I do like props here in this game. That's the reason why I like the over. I believe that Russell Westbrook is going to go over to 19.5 points. He got the advantage there, so I think he's probably going to be pushing the pace there. Other than that, this probably will be a backward on the side here. I just think it's too many points for the Lakers. We haven't seen them being able to take advantage, take care of business. This could be a spot they do though.
Yeah, I mean it's a bet against spot for me to fade the Lakers, but Sacramento, I can't bring myself to do it and take Sacramento. They're the one team I just wouldn't do it with. Great stuff, guys. Skee, Dutch, and Wham. Thanks to everybody. 180 live viewers, even after the day after Thanksgiving. Hit the like button. It helps us out. We appreciate it. We'll get to best bets, Dutch's freshest look in just a second. Reminder, Net Profit College Basketball, Connor and Maxwell Smart coming up after us. But first, we'll pause for messages right now. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product at 20% off using the promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Everything going on now. It's insane. NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, everything going on at once. Great time of year. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So sign up at mybookie.ag and use the promo code PubSports. All right, it is time now for best bets to wrap it up. We'll start with you, Skee. What do you like for best bet?
Best bet, I'm gonna go Lakers and Kings first half over, and you can get 116 at either Bet Online or South Point. Other than that, 116 and a half, but I think it should be 120. So first half over, Lakers and Kings.
All right, Sacramento, LA over 116 and a half first half. Best bet for Skee. Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, man. Ski. No, the Lakers don't play no D. All right, freshest look. We're going to the Bay Area. We're going to get that bread off the Warriors. Easy money, -6. Like I said, they handle their motherfucking business at the house. They will beat Portland. Portland loses on the road. That's just what they do. They don't cover. Warriors, -6, full game. It's good money.
All right, Golden State Warriors come out and play. Golden State -6 against Portland.
Man.
The freshest look for Dutch. Wham, best bet.
Yeah, we could stay in Oakland. I said Brooklyn, and we could actually stay in San Francisco here, where Dutch was saying. I like the Damian Lillard over 26.5 points. Again, he's averaging 28.9 points against this team in his career, averaging just about that over the last 5 games. Got a little warmer tester against the Kings, got 30 plus. Let's do that again tonight. Damian Lillard over 26.5 points.
All right, there we go. Damian Lillard over 26.5 points. A best bet for TROT Wham for this card. My best bet, I'm going to go with Boston. I like Boston here. -4.5 at San Antonio. I haven't had Boston much, but this season in terms of betting on this team. But after the beatdown against Brooklyn, I didn't see enough from San Antonio against Atlanta. Atlanta went in there, a team that's done nothing on the road all year, and beat that San Antonio team down. You got to think the Celtics are motivated to do that after a horrible game against the Nets. They're still the better team. Cheap number. Boston -4.5 against San Antonio for my best bet for this Friday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio NBA Pub Hub. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Stay tuned. We got the Net Profit College Basketball Show coming up. I'll be back with Connor Mack tomorrow, 10 a.m. with Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss College Football Saturday morning kickoff show. Make sure you join us for that tomorrow. For Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, this is Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. Cash some tickets. We'll see you again Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here for the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like and subscribe and share the video. Get to that hundo. That's Mando. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah.